Hello. Today I'd like to test something that came to my mind quite recently, and the first thing is when having the C64 Mini on the desk, it's quite a strange contrast to have a huge monitor connected to the C64 Mini. And so I came up with the idea to use an 8-inch panel like this, and it has an HDMI input as well as composite input, but that's not very good. And well, the idea is to check whether the C64 Mini will work with this display. So let's have some kind of test configuration. So let's make this a little bit flat. And we're going to need some power for the display itself. And the interesting thing is that this display comes with an USB connection as well. So we may use this to power the C64 Mini with this display. So, and we need the HDMI cable, which is a little bit stiff. That's probably not the best thing for this configuration, but actually it is more like a test setup or something like this. So let's get this connected, and then let's have some power, and let's see what's happened. So actually nothing. AV, BNC, VGA, HDMI, and here we go. The C64 Mini on an 8-inch screen. So the thing is actually that the C64 Mini outputs an 16:9 picture format. So, and this is a 4:3 screen, so that's actually not perfect, but let's say for a test it's going to be okay. So the next thing we're going to need is some sound. Here we go. It's probably not the best quality, but at least we can hear something. And then let's check when we go to the monitor and say we have a 4:3 European CRT. And then let's go for a game. Or something I'm able to play, which is not as challenging. What could be a nice game? So I think there was Tower Toppler, which is called Nebulous in Europe. It's probably a good idea to start with, but I can find it, well, too many games perhaps. Well then let's go for Armalite. So the sound is really a little bit awful, so probably that's going to be the next project, to connect some speakers to this. But it looks like there is no 3.5 millimeter audio jack or something like this. Or at least I can't find it right now. So this is really a little bit hardcore. But anyway, at least this is working right now. Let's make this a little bit so although the screen is a 4:3 and we set the C64 Mini to output in 4:3 format as well, as we can see, it's not using the whole screen, and therefore the picture is a little bit compressed. But actually it is working, and well, if it is really going to be a concept to use the C64 Mini as a mobile device, or at least a very compact, place it somewhere on your desk or corner, wherever, then those small screens are available as 16:9 as well. And actually I have to say it plays pretty well, except for that I got hit right now. But in terms of lag or so, I can't say that I can, that I'm recognizing a very huge amount of lag. So this is quite surprising for, well, cheap display like this one. So game feels very responsive, and yeah, so that's the first thing. That's pretty nice that this is working, and it's really a shame that we can't extend the screen. So I'm actually not sure what this settings is really all about, because I couldn't recognize any difference. So we now just jump back to the game. Let's see whether the screen is wider. Oh, it looks like it has the same border. No, it hasn't changed much. So maybe I have to come up with a monitor test program to see whether a circle is really a circle or something like this. But actually I can't spot any difference so far. And well, the next thing I like to try is if we just disconnect the power supply from the screen, then I expect that everything will went dark. And this is what I expected. Well, and what I'd like to do is, I have a power bank which is able to output 12 volts, and it looks like this, and I can switch between 9 and 12, and we have USB and normal 12 volt output. So in order to do so, we're going to need a different, oh no, probably not. This could fit to this display. Let's see. May have to disconnect this here shortly. So, and then we have to get this back connected. It's a little bit tight on the bottom. So the power bank won't last that long because it's a very old one, and I think the battery is almost dead, but maybe it will be enough to power up the system. Here we go. We got a mobile C64 Mini, and well, as you can see, it's almost depleted just within a second, but actually it is working. So maybe as a proof of concept, just grab this and you can see that there is no cable somewhere, and just assuming that the battery is okay, if I might replace this or something like this, then this could be maybe attached to the screen on the back, and then this will power the screen, and the screen is going to power the C64 Mini, and therefore you have a real mobile setup. So, and considering that we may use a smaller gamepad like I've used in one of the former C64 Mini tests, then we can kind of eliminate this kind of bulky joystick as well, and then you really have a kind of pretty compact setup which you can take with you to whatever party or whatever you want to play C64 games, and then you're all set. So that's a pretty cool thing, I have to say. And I have no idea how long the battery will last right now, but basically I've used this power bank to charge other 12 volt or 9 volt devices, and it usually lasts for 2-3 hours, something like this. And I think the current consumption or the power consumption of the monitor is not so heavy that this thing is depleted very fast. So considering that we have a good condition battery built in, and well, I mean the music is a little bit not so nice, but that's probably something that could be improved as well, maybe by attaching some better speakers to it or something like this. Or well, if I'm going to look for a 16:9 screen, a 10-inch screen or something like this, maybe it comes with some better speakers as well. And well, that's one of the downsides of the C64 Mini. It has no audio out, so it would be very nice to connect your headphones to it or something like this, but actually that's not possible. But well, anyway, not going to complain. I'm really happy that this setup is working. So well, a more compact HDMI cable would be nice as well, but this is just a kind of test. So anyway, and well, that's all I want to do today. As usual, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments or recommendations, perhaps, I mean it's almost the same width, so it looks very nice, then feel free to use the comment section, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions, whatever. And as usual, if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. I highly appreciate it, and see you for the next video. Bye bye.